Yo, what's good, fellas? I see y'all requested me another video, and it has to do with the Jougan. Now, y'all know me. I am a Jougan advocator. I want to see it, and I believe it's canon. So any chance I get to prove to y'all more why the Jougan is going to be canon, I can't pass that up. I'm gonna be in your ear about it 24/7, and you're gonna have to hear me. If you don't want to hear me, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Why'd you click on the video? You seen the thumbnail, right? That means you want to hear me yap. So I'm gonna do some yapping. Now, I ain't gonna cap, bro. Before this video, I did not know what necromancy was. I didn't even know that was a word. And I had to look it up. I had to do my research before I clicked on the video, because I'm looking at it like, what is that? But if you're like me, who don't know what that word means, necromancy, I hope I'm saying that word right. All it is a practice to communicate with the dead, especially to predict the future. Now, people can still get away with videos like this because the true power of the Jougan has not been revealed yet. And it being called the pure eye means it could have many abilities. And let me tell you, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, if we see the Jougan within the next 5 chapters, I'm gonna have to throw on a live stream and we're gonna have to do something special, because I feel like a lot of people been doubting me. Like I'm the crazy one, right? Okay, we're gonna see though. Shout out to Kidomaki for the video. The link to his channel will be in the description below, so make sure you go show him some love. By the time I'm reacting to this video, it's around like 800 likes. Probably get it to 900 when y'all see this, or 1,000. I don't know. I don't know when this is going up. But anyway, let's hop into the video. Let's see what he's cooking.
Ever since Boruto first displayed the Jougan, the first thing that came to mind were the abilities this dojutsu would inevitably provide. And with Boruto now having the ability to perform Flying Raijin despite not having someone who knew the formula, it does bring into question how he was able to acquire it. This then brings...
I already see where this is going. Bro. Now look, this is just theories, right? Just for fun, this is just theories. But off what he was about to say, he's about to relate the Jougan into some way where he had communicated with Minato to learn the Flying Raijin. Remember, originally, a lot of people thought he learned it from Kashin Koji because Kashin Koji has Jiraiya's memories, and what does Jiraiya remember? Jiraiya remembers Minato doing Flying Raijin, and that's possibly a way he could have learned it. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know how he learned it, and that probably will be revealed in later chapters. But if it comes out that Kashin Koji did not teach Boruto any ninjutsu at all, any techniques, oh yeah, there's gonna be questions. How did he learn Uzuhigo? How did he learn Flying Raijin? Those are gonna be questions that need answers, because Sasuke damn sure didn't do it. So who did it, you know? And that's probably where necromancy comes into play. God, I need to start using that word. I'm gonna add that to my vocabulary, bro. I'm just gonna use it to sound smart, because hey, I'm pretty sure nobody I know knows that word anyway.
Brings us back to the Jougan, because we've seen that this dojutsu is very unique in the sense that not only does it provide Boruto with the ability to travel across, see across, but also hear what the person is saying across dimensional barriers, it also takes it a step further, in that Boruto has the ability to interact with beings no longer in the plane of the living, as seen with Momoshiki, which could explain how he was able to learn the formula for Flying Raijin. You see, this ability opens the door for many possibilities, one being Boruto eventually advancing the ability to the point where he can now temporarily resurrect the dead, or better yet, gain the ability to use the powers of the dead. Now, I know that some people are going to say that this is a stretch, Boruto will never gain that ability, or that it doesn't make sense in the world of Naruto.
That's crazy.
However, the issue with that stance is that it's contradictory to what has been established in Naruto's lore, in that we've already seen this ability being used before on multiple occasions.
Yes, we have. I guess he's gonna bring up Edo Tensei, but it's not like you're using their ability, you're just bringing the person that used that ability back to life. And I think Kabuto had an ability like that, who he could bring the undead back to life. It wasn't like an Edo Tensei, but it's similar to it. I forgot what it's called though. So far, I only seen him use the Jougan to like see his comrades from a different dimension. And this is at the beginning of the Boruto anime. I'm talking about when Sumire was a villain, you know? Like, y'all know way back then. He had to use the Jougan to locate his friend Shikadai in him. And then he used it in this fight right here on the screen against Yurishiki. So already we know the eye has to do with dimensions. Now there could possibly be a dimension where deceased souls reside. You know, like Minato's soul, you know, all the people that died. And if he could find a way to communicate with them, that could definitely be useful. But if I want to make more sense of this, as I seen on the thumbnail, let's look at the thumbnail real quick. You see he got the Shinigami right here, the Shinigami for the Reaper Death Seal. If Boruto could somehow find a way, well, this has never been done, by the way. Now, if he could find a way to communicate with the souls who got consumed by the Reaper Death Seal, because as you know, if somebody uses the Reaper Death Seal on another person, their souls and some of the souls get sealed into the Reaper's belly. Now, if he could find a way to communicate souls that have been sealed into the Reaper Death Seal, then that would probably make more sense. And it does make sense because the Uzumakis have a close relationship with sealing jutsu of that caliber anyway. So, take it how you want to.
In fact, the first time we saw this ability to use the power of the dead was when Kakashi gained Obito's Mangekyo Sharingans in the battle versus Kaguya.
Okay.
Initially, Obito died and was reduced to
I see.
ashes after being impaled by Kaguya's ash bones. And we then see that he was then transported to another dimension or plane where he met his childhood friend that died over 20 years ago.
Okay.
Now, of course, we all thought that this was the end for Obito because he was now dead. But he then said that he had to help Kakashi one last time. And when he was asked by Rin if he could just leave the realm of the dead, Obito then said, yes. Chakra is an energy that connects two worlds, which means the realm of the dead or the Pure Lands is connected to the realm of the living by chakra.
And one more thing to support his theory, and I might put the manga panel on the screen right here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jura stated that all life on the planet, both current and past and long dead, can all be sucked up, and be used by the divine tree. And he's probably gonna say that next. He's probably gonna say that as soon as I, unpause the video. I just wanted to tell you guys that. So I thought that was a way for the Shinju to communicate with the past. That's why I was saying, if the chakra of the deceased still resides on the planet, it can be used by the Shinju. And there lies the possibility of the Shinju using abilities of people that was unalived years ago. So let's say the Shinju could have used Flying Raijin or something like that. Especially if the chakra they absorbed has some type of relationship with the user's abilities. But I've been knew the possibility of this for a long time. I'm just surprised he's like linking it to the Jougan though. I would not expect that. But I see what he's saying. I think he's gonna bring this up next.
Ability that allows him to travel across dimensions to leave the plane
he gotta bring that point up
and re-enter the
plane of the living
in the form of pure chakra. This same chakra then entered Kakashi's body, which allowed Obito to manifest within his psyche. Obito then informed Kakashi that he's going to give him one last gift, but it has a fixed time limit, so he needs to use it wisely. That's when you see Kakashi, who was just a normal ninja a few moments ago, brandishing both of Obito's Mangekyo Sharingans. Now, when this initially happened, a lot of people said that it didn't make sense, as if we didn't just see Hagoromo come back from the dead and pass his chakra to Naruto and Sasuke, who later awakened the different abilities due to that chakra. So in fact, it did make sense, but people just didn't want it to for some reason. Now, with that being said, what people failed to realize is that the chakra Hagoromo gave to Naruto and Sasuke was also limited, as was the chakra Obito gave to Kakashi. And we even see later on that Obito was there the entire time watching over the battle. But the moment that time expired, he started to feel a wave, and so did the power of the Sharingan.
Now he's cooking, I can't lie.
The reason why this is different for Naruto and Sasuke is that while they did lose the chakra Hagoromo shared with them, since they can't reproduce his chakra since they're not Hagoromo, they were able to retain the awakenings they received. That's because
they still kept the abilities.
Manga, you can awaken Hagoromo's chakra by combining the chakra of his two sons, Ashura and Indra. And also that if this is done within the body of an Uchiha, they will awaken the Renegon. Now, of course, you could interpret.
I mean, one thing I did want to see is Naruto keep his Truth Seeker orbs. And I know it's not a big deal per se, but they are pretty useful. They can nullify all ninjutsu, and you can use them tactically in a fight. I think Naruto used one to, what did he use it for? He used it in Kaguya's dimension, the one with all the lava, so Sasuke wouldn't fall into the lava. He used it as like a footstool. You know what I'm saying? Just ways like that he could use it. It's not important, but it helped, and it looked cool. Just have all them behind him. So he's possibly saying, I mean, I know Kakashi didn't keep his Mangekyo Sharingan, but if there was a way for Boruto to communicate with the dead and, gather their chakra just like Kakashi did, but somehow keep the ability somehow as awakening it, but somehow keep the ability as like awakening the ability in yourself, or learning how to do it, like using it to learn how to perform the ability, that could be overpowered. And I know that Boruto's karma kind of gives him the mastery of all 5 chakra natures and the ability to learn Shinjutsu because of that being a sacred art only performed by the Otsutsuki. But when you have like made up jutsu such as like Shadow Clone Jutsu, made up by the second Hokage, as well as Flying Raijin, and Rasengan, made up by the fourth Hokage, it's kind of like you're gonna need their specific chakra to learn how to do it. You know, not just the karma is enough to learn jutsus like that. That's what Naruto was talking about when he was talking to Kaguya, how ninja was evolving over time. So everybody made up their own jutsu. That's what makes this technique useful, because you can't just learn everything with the karma. You're gonna have to go to the person who mastered it first. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it does. But hey, he's cooking, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You are cooking so far.
This in multiple ways. You could just say that maybe this person has to be the descendant of Indra. You can't just place Indra's chakra into an Uchiha and awaken a Renegon, you know? So you can just interpret it that way, but it doesn't really matter in this instance.
Yeah,
the point
you already
is
have
that
to have
this
the
was
genes.
later confirmed in the manga itself that Sasuke awakened the Renegon due to being given Hagoromo's chakra directly from Hagoromo. So he didn't need to awaken it by combining those two chakras. Now when it comes to Naruto, he retained a version of 6-path Sage mode since he retained the chakra of all the Biju after the war ended. This provided him with 6-path Senjutsu chakra, as they did for Madara, who also gained 6-path Senjutsu after becoming the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. So Naruto, being a pseudo 10 Tails Jinchuriki, as he's referred to as in Boruto's novels, would also retain the power of 6-path Senjutsu due to the Tail Beast. So in both cases where the characters kept the powers given to them by the dead, there's a logical explanation as to why that is the case. Kakashi doesn't meet that genetic requirement needed to awaken a Renegon like Sasuke did. So that perfectly explains why he wasn't able to achieve a permanent awakening.
Damn,
now what you
sad.
realize in both these examples is that the dead comes to the world of the living on their own, meaning that the person who received the powers didn't do it deliberately using any techniques. However, there's one example where this was the case. You see, Hagoromo, and I hate saying his name, but it's just so hard to say, but Hagoromo knew that Naruto and the others had no way of getting back from Kaguya's dimension, so he needed a way to bring them back to the original dimension. He then decided to use a summoning jutsu, but then realized that he didn't have enough chakra to pull it off since he had given that chakra to Naruto and Sasuke. The jutsu itself also required a lot of chakra since he was summoning all of Team 7, Madara, and the 9 Biju from an unknown time space, so it does make sense.
Okay.
This is why he decided to summon the past 13 Gokages to the battlefield in order to use their chakra to power the jutsu. Hagoromo himself even states that he summoned them directly from the afterworld, which means the Pure Lands, as if this was some easy feat. Mind you, he summoned them because he was low on chakra, which actually...
Wow, that's, yo, bro, if Boruto somehow gets the ability like Hagoromo showed right here, and you gotta remember Boruto has the Jougan, which is basically an eye directly related to the Otsutsuki. So if this is one of like Hagoromo's just natural abilities right here, to be able to summon past shinobi or anybody, let's say not even to help Boruto learn their abilities, just to talk with them, right? Then not only can he use that to get stronger, that kind of explains how he knew about the 10 Tails. Y'all remember, ever since chapter 1, Boruto gave us a hint like he already knew what was gonna happen. The worst possible future, he already knew what's going on. When the Shinju was awakened, he said it was too late. You know, stuff like that could relate to this. Like, how does he know this stuff is gonna happen before it even happens? We tried to make so much sense of it, maybe like a model told him or something like that, but we know now that's not really the case. So there had to be a way. I even made a video on it, how he made contact with Toneri, and Toneri kind of told him something like that. That could be one possibility, but I'm starting to strongly consider this a possibility as well. But the question I'm gonna leave to y'all though, I'm not even gonna like answer this. I wanna leave to y'all like sort of a game in the comment section. If Boruto was to learn all those things about the 10 Tails, who would he have to go to? I mean, you could probably say Hagoromo because he knows a lot about the 10 Tails. You could probably say somebody from the war because they fought against the 10 Tails. But who exactly do you think he should go to learn more about the 10 Tails?
Actually speaks to the small amount of chakra needed to summon the dead in a similar way to how he did it. Now after this was all done, he was able to release the jutsu pretty easily and sent them back. Mind you, similar to how Obito was 100% himself and could converse with Kakashi, it was the same for the Gokages that were summoned. Now the obvious implication here is that if Boruto could use this unnamed ability used by Hagoromo, it's possible that he could not only use the power of the person he summons, but also converse and learn from them. This could also give some insight on a few things that happened in the past. For example, what happened to the Uzumaki clan. And maybe even discover some sealing techniques that would allow Boruto to seal away Momoshiki's soul. But more importantly, that's more relevant to this video, it's also possible that Boruto would be able to summon the 4th or 2nd Hokage, which would allow him to learn Flying Raijin. Now what's also interesting about the ability to...
Well, he didn't talk about the 10 Tails thing, but I did anyway, so you're welcome. I'm just helping the video get even better. He also didn't go over what Jura said, but I did, so there you go. You're welcome.
Use the power of the dead is that it appears to give the user full mastery over the power they received. Because as seen with Kakashi, he was able to instantly use a perfect Susanoo when it stated that you need to have mastery over both your Mangekyous to awaken it. This shouldn't work for Kakashi since he has never used Obito's right eye before, which means that Obito's experience with that eye was also transferred over to Kakashi as well. This also makes the ability even more insane since Boruto doesn't need to train to master these abilities.
I don't know. He definitely did train to master the Flying Raijin. If that was the case, he would have been a master at it. So there would be no reason for him to say, oh, I'm not as good as using it as my grandfather. So he just blatantly said he wasn't as good as Minato, or Tobirama for that case anyway. So I don't know about gaining all of their experience. You'll probably still have to train. Therefore, I don't know exactly how Kakashi learned how to use the Susanoo. I mean, I guess that's just something that Kishimoto just wanted to add, because we never seen Obito use his Susanoo anyway. So he wouldn't even know how to use it because he didn't have both of his Mangekyo Sharingan. So we'll just leave that be. We're not gonna discuss that.
Of course, this would be different if he was just taught how to use an ability rather than just the individual pouring their chakra into him as it was for Kakashi. Now that we've addressed the ability itself, let's go into why this makes sense for the Jougan. Now, as I said before, we see that the ability was able to interact with Momoshiki in the spiritual realm. This is very similar to how Obito was able to interact with Kakashi after passing away, though the roles have been somewhat reversed, in the sense that in Kakashi's case, Obito uses ocular power that allows him to travel across dimensions to come back to the world of the living. Of course, with the assistance of 6 Paths Chakra, the same 6 Paths power, Kakashi confirmed to have boosted Obito's ocular powers. Mind you, this was the same 6 Paths power that allowed Hagoromo to do the same thing with Naruto and Sasuke, so it does make sense. Now, this is different in Boruto's case since he's the one who has the ocular power that allows him to hop across dimensions as shown in the anime. Not only that, when it comes to appearances, the Jougan is depicted as light blue in color with a darkened sclera, at least in the anime adaptation. And with that description, the first thing that comes to mind is the Edo Tensei Jutsu, created by Tobirama Senju, which allowed the caster to bind the soul of a deceased person to a living vessel. Now, a key thing to note here is that the Jutsu is only able to summon souls that reside in the Pure Lands, which is a place where souls of earthly beings generally reside in death. So if we assume that there is only one afterlife in the universe of Naruto for all beings, it's likely that this is where Momoshiki's soul went after he was destroyed by Boruto. Now, to further back up this theory or speculation, whatever you want to call it, we can see that the environment in which Momoshiki implanted Boruto with his karma seal was not the same environment where the fight took place, basically. It's somewhat as if Boruto and Momoshiki was teleported to another dimension, an astral dimension. In this dimension, we can only see this reddish atmosphere with a black swirling pit beneath Momoshiki and Boruto.
Well, I would like to say, maybe the Jougan just gives him access to every dimension. We can't rule out the fact that possibly, once you do pass on, your soul continues to the afterlife. Well, let's just say the afterlife takes place in another dimension. And that's where all the souls reside, right? Let's say Boruto has access to this dimension because he has the Jougan. But like I said, his Jougan gets him access to all the dimensions. That's why he could be in Momoshiki's dimension. Well, let's just say every dimension but the Daikokuten dimension, because we know that's already exclusive to Kawaki's dojutsu. So it'll kind of be like Kaguya's ability. Her ability to go through different dimensions, right? But she can manifest different dimensions, so she brings everybody with her. Boruto can be able to see those dimensions and either go to or from it, sort of like the 6 Tomoe Rinnegan that Sasuke had. And we already know that eye is heavily associated with the Otsutsuki. And Boruto having the pure eye means he not only has this ability, but he has many other abilities as well. I'll go as far as to say he has most of the abilities that the Otsutsuki have when it comes to transversing dimensions. I feel like that would make more sense if the Jougan just had a lot of abilities, but Boruto is going to have to master it and learn how to use it.
However, this only occurred in the anime, which generally expounds on the manga, but you could also consider the anime a separate continuity. I have to be honest about it. So in essence, I believe that this entire sequence or scenario took place due to the Jougan's ability to interact with the spiritual realm or the Pure Lands as you know it, which is very interesting since the Jougan translates to pure eye, so at face value you can also see why people would make that connection. However, even at a deeper level, this does make sense since the sequence only took place after the Jougan activated and started to pulsate with energy. We even zoomed into the Jougan, which then brought us to the next scene with Boruto in this unknown dimension, again with the Jougan pulsating, which by the way is something it hadn't done before this moment in time. And then Momoshiki asked Boruto if he could sense his presence as if he should not have been able to, which he then deduced was due to Boruto strongly inheriting the powers of the Otsutsuki after noticing Boruto's Jougan, which means, as the theory suggests, the Jougan was able to establish a connection between the land of the living and the Pure Lands, similar to what Obito did, and this is what allowed Momoshiki to interact with Boruto.
He's cooking. He's definitely cooking.
This happened during the chakra clash between Boruto and Momoshiki, which means that their chakra was connected, similar to how Obito connected his chakra to Kakashi. And what I also noticed is that every time the Jougan activated,
and you see where it's going, obviously Boruto and Minato's chakra is connected. So that's one way you can give Boruto this ability without it being overpowered. He can't just connect to anybody. He himself has to be connected to that person via chakra, whether it's like hereditary or just fighting somebody. So this way, that explains how he was able to connect with Minato to learn a jutsu such as Flying Raijin. Because if you give Boruto an ability, you can't make it overpowered. So you have to have some type of limitations just to keep everything balanced, you see? And I like that. I like how he did that. I like how he did that. I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the best theories I've seen so far on YouTube. Yo, shout out to Kidomaki for real.
It was when Boruto was in the presence of an Otsutsuki, or let's say a being or power tied directly to them, which could be Boruto's latent Otsutsuki power manifesting due to resonance.
And this could be a way he could connect to Tonari too.
Boruto is a descendant of both,
because their chakra is connected,
which means that he possesses both of their chakra. This could have triggered a chain reaction in Boruto, which allowed him to manifest more Otsutsuki powers, somewhat similar to the ones Hagoromo manifested. Now of course this could be completely off base, because if Boruto awakened the Jougan, why isn't he using it now? Well, the simple answer to that question is there's a lot we don't know. Has he mastered using Jougan? Did he accidentally use it to meet Minato, which means he simply can't control it as seen multiple times before? He could simply be in the same situation as his anime counterpart.
If it is in the manga, he should at least know about it.
Him not using it could have a logical explanation in universe, similar to how he isn't using the Karma Seal. Now if I was a betting man, I would say probably not, but I'm open to it. Also, even if he doesn't have this ability right now and he just learned Flying Raijin some other way, he could simply acquire the ability in the future, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anywho, that's it for the video itself. I don't want to extend it any longer than it needs to be, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And in regards to my prior video about Kawaki being Jura or Kawaki being copied by...
Hey bro, beautiful video by Kidomaki. Make sure you guys go check his channel out, because it's gonna be in the description below. But yeah, what does this mean? If this is true, what does this mean for Boruto, that he can communicate with the dead using his Jougan? Is that how he learned Flying Raijin? And if you don't think that's the reason he knows it, let me know why you think he knows it in the comments section below, man. I'm open to all possibilities, because at the end of the day, it is just theories. None of it is confirmed. But this is one of the best theories I've seen about the Jougan. And you know I love Jougan videos, because the title and the thumbnail will be bussing. Just know that. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Like always, if you guys want me to react to another video, make sure you just leave it in the comment section below and I'll check it out, man. I'll see. And I'll do this. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm gonna include the link to the Discord down below. And if I don't, just remind me in the comment section and I'll do it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'm out. Peace.